back with our final Football 101 with Steve Morrison of the year. I am Michael Spath, and here we are in a 33-32 loss to Florida State, a tough loss for Michigan. We'll get to many of those plays and towards the end of the game. But here we are, 14:09 to go in the first quarter, and a long run for Dalvin Cook, a guy that finished with 145 yards rushing against the Wolverines.
Yeah, and unfortunately there were some big runs, and this is one of them, and it's just a situation where we misfit the run. They're going to early motion their fullback to the field. They know we support our safety down to that side, and going to run a little counter play by pulling the tackle and then pulling that fullback as a secondary puller. And really what's got to happen here is the backers, knowing that support is coming down to the fullback side, really have to play slow, and as this play develops, get outside. In McCray's case here, get over the top of the tackle, and then Ben Gideon's got to get over top of the center too, rather than underneath it. So we just misfit the run. We make some adjustments later to correct this, but like you said, Michael, this is one of the reasons why he got so many yards.
8:15 in the first quarter, and Taco Charlton, this is what he did really well against Ohio State. He comes off the edge here, goes right past Dalvin Cook, who's not paying any attention to him, and lights up the quarterback.
Yeah, it's a nice concept. I think we're standing him up and giving a two-deep look there into the boundary and also to the field. And what we end up doing is they're going to free release the back, thinking a zone concept there, and the safety's actually going to pick him up, and it leaves Taco wide open and gets a nice hit and forces a bad throw.
4:29 to go in the first quarter, and this is a 10-yard pickup to Davion Smith, and a really interesting play because Smith starts off trying to block. A lot of pressure gets on Wilton Speight, who was under pressure all day long, and he ends up being able to dump this out to Smith for a nice pickup.
It is. We're trying to do a little play action to try to soften up the pass rush a little bit, and in fact, Davion should actually be faking this ball to the right, but he sees a strike coming from the left side, and he's going to come out of the fake and pick it up. And then Wilton does a nice job of stepping up and really doing a nice job of keeping his eyes downfield. And again, Davion not only does a nice job of coming out of the fake into protection, but he also sees he's in trouble and he gets upfield, and we're able to make a play here. So a nice improvisation and good positive yards.
3:03 to go in the first quarter, and this is their long 92-yard touchdown pass. And there's some confusion here with what type of defense Michigan is in the back four, and it seems like this is what catches Jordan Lewis in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a bad check or what, but we're starting out this series in a zone concept, and we're going to play a form of cover two. It looks like to the field, and the backside looks like we're in a quarters concept or in man. We lose the backside safety, and what happens is the number two receiver will run a post, and that draws Thomas out of there. And in a two concept, we've either got to be reading the number two receiver. If he's vertical, then Jordan Lewis has got to sink and get depth and cover one. But definitely a miscommunication somewhere along the lines, and ends up to be a huge play, and one of those things where we puts us behind the eight ball.
11 minutes to go in the second quarter, 1st and 10, Michigan, just outside the red zone, and Wilton Speight rolls out to the right, makes a nice play to come back to Jake Budd. Unfortunately, he gets hurt on this play, but a really nice combination that these two were able to come up with all season long, and here again.
Yeah, it was had a decent drive here so far, and we're going to roll out, get Wilton on the move to the right to help us with protection a little bit. Unfortunately, they're in a zone, and there's really nowhere to throw the ball. And it's just a nice heads-up job again by Jake. Realizing we're in some trouble, gets open, and a nice job by Wilton connecting with them, and gets some really good yards here. And it's just an unfortunate end to a really good play.
And all year we've been talking about Ben Gideon in coverage. Some fans think he does a great job, other fans think he does not. And the wheel route is the hardest play for a linebacker to cover. And here against the best running back in the country, Ben Gideon does a really nice job.
He really does. And the thing that makes it difficult here too is, as his back's going away, he gets a puller at him. And instinctively as a linebacker, you're taught to chase pullers. And I think this is a really good job by him being disciplined with his eyes and staying on his man, and really doing a nice job downfield and staying in phase and keeping his hands on him. A little push, but just a really nice heads-up discipline play here that, Florida State's had a lot of success on this play all year long.
Here we are, 10-13 in the second half, in the third quarter. And the loss of Jake Budd is certainly hard, but Ian Bunting a guy that'll be back for another year, shows you what he might be capable in 2017.
Yeah, this is a great play by him. It's a nice route. They're in two-man, and the backer's going to run underneath him, and he does a nice job of sticking it and then bending right on top of the shoulder of the linebacker and getting in position. And a hell of an athletic catch, and it's really a great job up front in protection. We've struggled with the games they're running up front. We protect those. And then Wilton does a great job of throwing that in where only he can catch it between the two safeties.
Steve, you and I have talked about this many times of how much we rave about Taco Charlton. Michigan's going to miss this kid next year, and here he single-handedly disrupts the play.
And we're lucky that he does. Yeah, they're in a third and long situation here, and essentially we're going to be in a bracket man coverage, and that's going to isolate McCray on Dalvin Cook, and they're going to run everybody out of there, and McCray's beat. And so it's just a great job by Charlton getting just off the ball as quickly as he can and getting through there and causing disruption. He had a hell of a game, and you're right, one of those kids that we're going to miss next season.
Here's a teaching moment, Steve, where Michigan runs play action, and the right guard needs to help his center out a little bit better and does not on this play.
Yeah, we're trying to run a little play action again, just to give us some time and get the guys downfield, and we've struggled with protection against just in a straight drop back. So trying to move it, and what happens is Cole, the center's got a zero technique on him, and as we play action, you'd like to see Kalis here get his eyes to that nose and help Cole out. He's got his eyes on the second level linebacker, which is allows just a gap there for him to come through, and unfortunately we don't get back, and we take a big sack here, which slows us down.
Final minute of the third quarter, and this is Michigan's pick six, a really great play by Mike McCray. I'll let you take us through it, Steve.
Yeah, so he's actually a blitzer here. We're going to scrape the defensive end inside, and he's going to be the contained blitzer. Gideon has Dalvin Cook man-to-man, and what happens is this back crosses his face by rule as the contained player. McCray picks him up and runs with him downfield. Gideon is heads up, realizing that McCray's got a man-to-man, and then he goes and pressures the quarterback, forcing the bad throw. So just a really nice job of a guy doing what he's coached to do, and then making a great job of catching the ball and getting it in the end zone for a big score.
Fourth quarter, 14-10 to go, 3rd and 22, a 71-yard play. And as you point out, Steve, this is where they could have really used Jabril Peppers.
Yeah, you look at scenarios where Jabril could have made a difference, and obviously there's a lot of those, but this is one in particular where, in this scheme, Jabril would have been where Metellus is, and he would have had the tight end man-to-man, and as soon as the tight end is actually going to pull across the formation and be a lead blocker for the running back, and as soon as he goes, you got to go. And Metellus is late. He's a young kid, probably obviously hasn't played a whole lot. But this is one of those scenarios where Peppers could have gotten over there and helped get him down prior to him breaking for a huge run. And, we got to fit this better inside too. Gideon's got to do a better job getting over the top and knocking it back in. But, again, one of those scenarios where it's a shame to miss one of your best players in a game like this.
Michigan starts its comeback with a touchdown pass, a bullet from Wilton Spate to Khalid Hill. A couple of bullets on this drive, and you love something that you see Florida State's defensive back do here.
Yeah, this is a great drive, and we got the ball down where we needed to, and interesting play call. We've got 13 personnel here. I'm going to flex Hill way out wide as a wideout, and really off the bat, Wilton's looking left. Does a nice job in progressions, works all the way back to the field to Hill, and makes a great throw and catch. And I think the greatest part of this is watching number 27, the cornerback for Florida State, basically giving up the touchdown, wants no part of contact, and basically runs by him. So again, Hill's reputation speaks for him in this play.
After everything that they went through, Michigan finds a way to take the lead with 1:57 to go on a great run by Chris Evans. And here's when we really thought that something special was going to happen in this game.
Yeah, I got to give him a lot of credit for continuing to battle, and this is a great individual effort by Chris Evans, and it's a nice job by Khalid Hill getting a block here on the edge from a scraping linebacker and opening up a little bit of a hole there, and nice job by Darbo downfield, but a great individual effort, and look forward to watching this kid in the future, and just a great play.
Final play of Football 101 for this Michigan-Florida State game and for the season. We didn't really have anything great to look at. We just decided to go with a blocked extra point by Michigan and the return by Josh Metellus just because it was something positive to end this note on.
Yeah, and they never gave up. They kept fighting, and despite the poor start, really, which was probably the biggest indicator of the outcome of this game, but they never gave up. Got a block by Wormley, and Metellus picks it up and takes it in and makes it for an exciting finish.
Well, that is Football 101 for this season and for this game. Appreciate Steve Morrison for joining us. Appreciate Thorne Sprandel for all of his great video. We had a lot of fun. We'll probably do again for the Michigan spring game and going into the 2017 season. Let's hope it is a championship season for the Wolverines.